How to set meetings for your marketing agency. This is probably the hardest thing to do when you're just starting out as an agency owner. It's a problem I had for such a long time, as you guys know. And now, at this point, I can consistently and predictably set meetings through cold calling. And since I record all my cold calls, in this video I'm going to be going over 3 recordings of me one-on-one with the dentists in the trenches, going at it, trying to actually get them to hop on a meeting with me. To give you guys a quick little kind of backstory or background of how I get these people on the phone, I call dentists, which is my niche, in the mornings or early afternoons, and I try to get through the gatekeeper right away. Most of the time, there's no chance that that's going to happen. The dentists are usually quite busy or they have something else going on. On that first, when I originally call them, I have quite a lot of trouble getting through them right away. So I'll leave my information down for them so they can actually give me a call back. And I'll make a video on that probably in the future of how to actually get them to call you back. But in this video, all 3 of these examples of dentists actually calling me back. So yeah, let's get started with the first one.
Hello?
Hey, this is Dr. Lesniak returning a call.
Hey, Dr. Lesniak, how are you doing today?
Good, good. How are you doing?
Doing great. I'm Sarab. I'm the founder of SMMA Marketing, and the reason I left a message for you, Dr. Lesniak, is that I have a way of getting the Lesniak Dental Group more patients through the right marketing. If you have 60 seconds, I can share the idea with you. Do you got a minute?
Alright, so that's a classic straight line intro. I got that intro, the mechanics behind it from Jordan Belfort. It starts off with me asking them how they're doing, and then after that, introduce myself, the company, and kind of give them a quick version of what, a one-liner of what I can do for them, which is get them more patients through the right marketing. Then after that, I ask for the request. So I'm asking if they have 60 seconds for me to pitch them. And the reason I ask to pitch is to see if they're actually if they're gonna be interested in ultimately becoming a client. They're gonna at least have 60 seconds to get pitched. The last thing I'm gonna try to do is just go on talking for 5 minutes straight of how good my offer is and things like that. I'll always ask for the request and always ask for 60 seconds. I know it's usually it's a lot longer than 60 seconds, but I just ask for that initial 60 seconds because who's gonna say no to that? If they're actually interested in bringing more patients. And my meeting rate, if someone says yes to that 60 seconds, my meeting rate, at this point, it's probably, it's above 50%. I know that for sure. I don't track it after the request. I track it, overall, it's 10%. But after that request, that's where the people who aren't interested are going to drop off, and the people who are interested, they're going to continue to stay on the phone with me. So if, in general, it's 10% my meeting rate, but if they say yes to the request, then it's above 50%. So I'll run it back here and continue on.
Hello?
Hey, this is Dr. Lesniak returning a call.
Hey, Dr. Lesniak, how are you doing today?
Good, good. How are you doing?
Doing great. I'm Sarab. I'm the founder of SMMA Marketing, and the reason I left a message for you, Dr. Lesniak, is that I have a way of getting the Lesniak Dental Group more patients through the right marketing. If you have 60 seconds, I can share the idea with you. Do you got a minute?
What's the company called?
SN Marketing.
SN or SM? Let me just...
N as in Nancy.
Where are you based out of?
Edmonton. I actually live pretty close by, to be honest. We can actually come in and meet up and talk about it if you want.
Okay, so there, I kind of went for the meeting right then and there. I'm calling this person, at the time I was calling them locally, so they actually lived in the same city. So there, I actually went straight for the meeting, and I pitched the meeting in an indirect kind of way. You can come and talk about it if you want. I wasn't kind of firm in it, which is it's not my best, but it's not my best pitch for the meeting. But this guy, he showed interest. He asked a few questions, which I answered, and then I went for the meeting. So yeah, went for the meeting too early. At this point, I should have kind of gave him more information about the company and what exactly we offer first, just a little bit. But yeah, went for the meeting prematurely, and yeah, I'll play it.
Or SM, let me just...
N as in Nancy.
Where are you based out of?
Edmonton. I actually live pretty close by, to be honest. We can actually come in and meet up and talk about it if you want.
I'm just looking you up right now. you don't mind.
Yeah, sure. SNMarketinginc.com.
INC.
Yeah.
How long have you guys been in business?
Since 2018.
2018?
Yeah.
And how many dental clients do you guys have?
Right now we're at 4.
At 4? Which offices? Can I ask?
Yeah, sure. We have 1 in the U.S. and California, and then we have 3 in Australia.
Okay, how come?
Okay, so he asked me what dental clinics we're working with, which is like, it's kind of a common question, but at this time, I personally wasn't working with any dental clinics. I didn't have any clients at this point, but my contractor, who let me use his case studies, he did have clients in the place that I talked about here. So I can use the we word here, as in we are working with them. And if we were to work with this guy, my contractor would be handling all his media buying. So yeah, at that point, I can get away with saying we and still, be honest about that.
We have 1 in the U.S. and California, and then we have 3 in Australia.
Okay, how come none in Edmonton?
I'm actually just calling the Edmonton market right now.
Okay.
Yeah.
And is this your, is this your only office, or are you guys based out of a few different spots?
This is our only office.
Okay.
Yep.
What type of marketing do you guys do?
So we specialize in Google, Facebook, and Instagram ads. I've already looked into Lesniak Dental Group, and I noticed you guys aren't running any of those right now. And, a lot of your competitors are, like Dental Choice, for example. All their locations in Edmonton, they're all running Google, Facebook, and Instagram ads.
Okay, so quick little pause. I did my research on this guy. I did my homework. I knew exactly what ads he was running. He wasn't running any ads at all. But I did my homework on him. I checked his ads library on Facebook. I searched him up using the Google Ads preview tool. I searched his name up on Google a few times. Well, actually just once, but I knew he wasn't actually running ads already, which is why I can actually personalize the meeting more towards him. And the Dental Choice example is an example of a dental chain in the city that is quite successful with Facebook and Instagram ads and Google ads and things like that. So I kind of use that as a social proof. Now I don't really do that anymore. Who gives a fuck what another dental company is doing? But yeah, at the time, I did use that as part of my strategy.
What type of marketing do you guys do?
So we specialize in Google, Facebook, and Instagram ads. I've already looked into Lesniak Dental Group, and I noticed you guys aren't running any of those right now. And, a lot of your competitors are, like Dental Choice, for example. All their locations in Edmonton, they're all running Google, Facebook, and Instagram ads.
What's the return on Facebook? If I make a Facebook page, what's that going to get?
Well, a Facebook page isn't going to get you shit, to be honest. If you run the Facebook and Instagram ads, that's where the return on investment is going to come from. You are going to get, depending on what kind of services you want to offer. So, for example, if you want to scale Lesniak Dental Group in terms of volume, and you just want any patient whatsoever, most of your profits kind of come on the back end, because when they come in on that first visit, you're not going to make a profit of them if it's just like a teeth cleaning or a free teeth whitening you offer, like complimentary. You're going to make it when you upsell them on other services or you find other issues within their teeth. If you want to run ads for Invisalign or dental implants, for example, those kinds of ads, you're going to get return on investment right away on the front end.
Okay. And just a bit about what's your education?
My education, I used to go to the U of A. I'm self-taught, and I represent a new era of marketing. I went to the U of A, and the kind of marketing that they teach over there, it's quite outdated. Facebook is having updates on their advertising policies every day. The kind of marketing that we're doing with Facebook and Google, it's all new, so they don't have time to put it in their textbook yet. So I'm self-taught, and I've taken multiple online courses as well.
Okay, so what would you propose we do? Maybe we set up a meeting. Probably better.
Yeah, sure.
Okay, so this guy asked so many questions, man. He asked my education, what expertise I have, and even just talking about what kind of return on investment he'd be getting and things like that. I gave quite kind of long responses to kind of show my expertise. But damn, this guy asked a lot of questions. And finally, he was considering the meeting. He's like, oh, okay, so now what would you consider us to do? And so this is a good point, a good spot for me to pitch the meeting.
Okay, so what would you propose we do? Like, what would you? I mean, maybe we set up a meeting. Probably better.
Yeah, sure. Because like obviously I could try to pitch you or anything, but like to be honest,
would you have multiple team members working for you that all specialize in different areas, or are you doing everything?
I have team members.
How big is your team?
Team of 3. Yep. So, I could just come into Lesniak Dental Group whenever you have some time, and I can actually show you the dentistries we're working with, the exact step-by-step process, and, exactly how many new patients we can bring you.
Okay, so I said that because, man, you can tell like after he's like, okay, meeting, but then he's kind of like changing his mind a bit, and you can tell in his tonality, he was kind of like changing his mind a bit, so I kind of added a little something extra in there to get him on that call.
And what's your experience with SEO?
SEO, we don't do any SEO. We do strictly paid advertising.
Okay, like pay-per-click and Instagram. Okay.
Yeah.
Will you guys be doing SEO anytime soon? Because that's more of our style of advertising. We're working with a company for SEO right now for the past few months. From doing absolutely nothing before, that's really the only thing we're doing in terms of advertising.
Yep. Do you know how many new patients SEO is bringing you every month? Exactly. That's the main problem.
But we're getting people going to the website, I guess.
Yeah, that's the main problem with SEO, and like obviously, like I know other people that do SEO, and SEO isn't bad, but with paid advertising, you know exactly how many people are coming to your website. We have a system that tracks calls, so you know exactly which calls are coming directly from us, and it's not like a guessing game or anything like that. It's straight, it's transparent, and you can actually see if we're getting results from you right off the bat.
Okay, so this guy, man, like, dude, he kept switching back and forth, man. He asked me about like SEO. He said that's more of their style, and what you want to do and what I do actually is whatever service you're offering, I always talk shit about the other service, the other competitive service. So like if I was pitching Google Ads, which I kind of was here, but with mostly just Facebook and Instagram, I would just talk about it, talk shit about the other service, and like obviously I had these objections like written down. So like with the SEO, I asked him straight up, like, okay, like how many new patients does that bring you? He's like, oh, I don't know. It's SEO. You can't track it. Which he didn't say that, but like that's the main gist of SEO. You can't track it. So like I asked him straight up, and then once he like couldn't answer that question, then I started talking shit about it, and try to kind of loop it back to the meeting. So yeah, that's what you want to do when they try to like talk about other services. Let's play it back.
Right off the bat.
Okay, and then what sort of a monthly fee for this?
It's going to depend on what your goals are, how you want to scale the Lesniak Dental Group, and we'll talk about that in the meeting as well.
I won't have a chance to meet probably next week at some point.
Next week sounds good. Let me open up my calendar here. I have my Monday afternoon open.
No, Monday.
Man, this is I was just chilling on the phone waiting for him to say something.
Let me actually call you back. Let me do some research and tentatively schedule a meeting, I guess, to be for the end of the.
Donald.
Okay, so damn, dude, this felt like a sales call, man. He asked about the price. This guy's like, I think he's probably the toughest, like one of the toughest meetings I've had to try to book. He asked about the price, which like I'm handling, like I'm saying the right things in my opinion for these objections, which are like obviously smoke screens for uncertainty. Like he's pretty obvious by his tonality. He's just like, he's on the fence, he's uncertain. If he wants to go for the meeting or not, and he's just asking these questions to see if I'm gonna break. It's kind of like a test to see if I'm gonna break and I'm gonna say something that's gonna fuck it up, or if I'm actually gonna convince him to go on the meeting. And dude, there's like that 10-15 second pause, which for me, like on the phone, since I had no clients at the time, I was just like, it felt like 30 seconds of that pause, and like I was holding back, trying not to say something, to try to fill that silence and just let that silence kind of sit there and let him actually think. The last thing I want to do is kind of jump in there and keep trying to pitch him, and to kind of show my cards, and to try to see, like, it would make me look desperate if I pitched in or try to add something else during that silence. So I kind of just let it slide and kind of let things try to take their natural route a bit and let him think. And then he eventually ended up saying, let's just set up another time. But yeah, I'll keep playing it here. And I almost gave up.
Let me actually call you back. Let me do some research, and let's tentatively schedule a meeting, I guess, for the end of the.
Donald, let's be honest. Like, I'm busy, you're busy, and like even the chance that we're on a phone together right now, it's quite rare. I'm not asking for us to like get married right now. You could say, like, I'm just asking one shot, one meeting, and within the first 5 minutes, if I don't show you something that's actually going to get you more patients, you can kick me out right away.
Okay, come in on Wednesday, January 20th.
Okay, so finally fucking set the meeting with this guy. Damn, dude, I had that objection saved. The objection handling thing saved in my script. So when he said, like, no, I'm good, man. Like, that's my like wild card or whatever that's called. That's like my last resort. Like, if you just give me one shot, one opportunity, you can kick me out if I don't say anything important within five minutes. Which I don't know if I would say that nowadays. I don't think my meetings, my phone calls nowadays get to the point where I have to say that to book the meeting nowadays. So I don't know if I'd recommend it. Like, that line of like, it worked, it got me the meeting, of like, if you just give me one shot, one opportunity, you know, I can make some shit happen for you. You know, it worked to set the meeting, but also put me in a spot of like, of me pitching him, which is like, obviously I'm the one reaching out to him and I should be pitching him, and I did, but like, it just took it to that extreme and really made it seem like he was doing me a favor by hopping on a meeting with me. Granted, I got the meeting with this guy anyways, you know, as you can hear from, we had finally agreed, but man, that was a lot of work. And like, this guy wasn't, I'll let you guys know what happened actually at the meeting. In the actual meeting, when I went in there, you know, he ended up showing up for it. Well, like, I went to his office physically, so I showed up to it. But yeah, when I went to the meeting, and you know, he came and you know, we talked for a little bit, and you know, I got him through the intelligence gathering part of my meeting script, and like, the first question I always ask is, so like, Donald, or what was this guy's name? Robert. I actually called him Donald, which is his dad's name, in the phone call by accident. So I'm surprised he still actually got on the meeting with me because of that. But yeah, in the meeting, I was like, so the first question I was asked is like, so Robert, like, what made you want to hop on this meeting with me? And this guy was like, oh, well, honestly, I felt kind of pressured. And dude, at that point in the meeting, I was like, fuck, like, damn, I kind of fucked up. Cause like, I pushed him, like, I got the close of the meeting, but like, I worked way too hard for that meeting. And like, this guy, he ended up not being qualified. Like, earlier in the call, like, he asked, like, what's the return on investment of me having a Facebook page? He didn't even have a Facebook or Instagram page. He just didn't have that. He was actually a prosthodontist. But yeah, he didn't even have those pages. So ended up in the meeting, like, he ended up not being a qualified person. He wasn't even looking to get new patients to come in the meeting. So like, which doesn't make any sense, because after the initial intro, I do say we specialize in bringing more patients in. But yeah, anyways, yeah, so I ended up booking the meeting. This is probably the hardest one I had to book. And like, you guys can use like the objection handling and things like that. But yeah, you shouldn't have to work this hard for your meeting. So that was recording number one. Let's go over the second one. And the second one, again, it's a callback. So this person is calling me back after I left my information for them. So let's see here.
Hello.
Hi.
Hello. Hi, this is Dr. Dinesh. I'm calling from Home of Small Centers Clinic.
Calling from where, sorry?
From Home of Small Centers Clinic.
Oh, hey, how are you doing today?
I'm good. How are you?
Great. I'm Sarab. I'm the founder of SN Marketing, and the reason I left a message for you was that I have a way of getting Homo Smiles Dental Clinic more patients through the right marketing. So I have 60 seconds, I'd share that idea with you. You got a minute?
Okay, so yeah, same line as last time. I do change up the request for 60 seconds sometimes, which I think it might be an example in the next one. But yeah, again, same intro asking for the request. My tonality is kind of soft. At the time, it's a little better now, but at the time it was kind of like soft and a little too nice. But yeah, I was asked for the request. So
Dental Clinic more patients through the right marketing. So I have 60 seconds, I'd share that idea with you. You got a minute?
Okay. Yeah. So just give me 1 second here. Let me grab a pen and a paper. So you own the marketing company or you work for the marketing?
I own it.
You own it.
Yeah.
And where are you located?
In Edmonton, actually. So, I can actually come in and we can actually talk about how it can bring us more patients in.
okay, so again, I went for the meeting a little early. Actually, I don't even know if it's early going for the meeting. I shot my shot for it. Went for the meeting. Obviously, as you guys know, for both of these examples, they'll ask a few questions about you and your company usually, which is what she did for me. Sometimes they don't, but yeah. She asked a few questions. I always had the answers ready. There weren't even hard questions compared to the fucking last guy. But yeah, answered her questions and yeah, went for the meeting.
In Edmonton, actually. So, I can actually come in and we can actually talk about how it can bring us more patients in.
Okay.
Yeah,
And then have you worked with the dental offices before?
yeah, we actually work with multiple dental offices, and once in the meeting, I can actually show you, I can share their names, all their information, and exactly how many new patients we're actually bringing them. The thing that separates us from other marketing companies is that everything is tracked. So with our system and have in place, we actually can track phone calls, so you know exactly how many patients are coming directly from us. It's not like a guessing game with SEO or something like that.
Okay, all right. So when can you make time?
Let me check my calendar here.
I didn't actually
Have
look at my calendar.
tomorrow afternoon open.
Sorry.
Okay, anyway, so yeah, she asked when I have time. The reason was I went for the meeting initially, as you guys heard, and then she asked me another question after that. So I was just all right, I need to give her some more information before I'm gonna go for another meeting. So I kind of went on a little monologue, and I went we track everything. We track all our patients and things like that, and I even talk shit about SEO again a little bit, which is my complete opposite, of paid advertising. So yeah, talk shit a little bit about SEO. Since I was local, obviously it would help since I'm in the same city as her. But yeah, talked a little shit about SEO. Told her more information about how we can track patients and things like that, and then that was enough for her to get on a meeting with me. And so she had a low action threshold, so it was quite easy for me to get her to hop on a meeting. With fucking the last guy, Robert, it was quite difficult with him because he asked so many questions, and he really needed to verify me and validate me and put me through tests before he was ready to hop on a meeting. So you're always gonna get the both types of people. This person, with her, my tonality was better from the beginning, and even the way I said we track patients and things like that, I didn't say that for Robert. His was more of him keep asking me questions. I kept answering hers. With hers, I answered her question. I don't know if I can play it back here. Yeah, so She asked me a question. What I did differently with her, which I think might have contributed to me getting the meeting faster, is I answered her question and then I added more information about us on top of it. So their question is a smoke screen for uncertainty, and then once I answer that, it's just not good enough to just answer the question sometimes. And in this situation, I knew she was uncertain, so I answered her questions and I gave her like a little bit more information. I'll replay.
Exactly how many new patients we're actually bringing them. The thing that separates us from other marketing companies is that.
Okay, so yeah, as you can see, like I kind of hesitated a bit after I answered her question, and then I went into it.
Everything is tracked. So with our system and have in place, we actually can track phone calls, so you know exactly how many patients are coming through.
Anyways, you guys can replay that part in the video if you want to listen to it again. But yeah, like I answered her question and added more to it to really build her certainty, and it worked. She actually signed up for the meeting, and this person was qualified for the meeting when I went in. Didn't end up closing the client, but yeah, she was qualified. Anyways, that was the second one. I'm gonna get into the third one right now.
Hi there. This is Cheryl calling from Southwest Venture Center.
Hey Cheryl, how you doing?
Good. How are you?
Good. I'm Sarab. I'm the founder of SN Marketing, and the reason for the call today, Cheryl, is that I have a way of getting Southwest Venture more patients through the right marketing. I see that you guys already have your Google Ads running, which is great. So why aren't you guys running any Facebook or Instagram ads?
Okay, so if you guys can tell, like this intro is different than the 60 seconds request, and the reason for that is because I made it custom, so she knows right from the bat that I did my research on her. And this person was running Google Ads, so I made sure in the intro, like I said, I already see you guys are running Google Ads. I made sure she knows that off the bat that I did my research, and I do my research on all these guys. So like in terms of just my strategy with cold calling overall, I'm not just looking on the list and just calling, you know, right off the top. Each one I do research. It doesn't take that long. It takes like a minute or two just to look at their ads library to see if they're running ads, to see if they're searching up their name on Google, to see if they're running Google Ads, and like use the Google preview tool on the Google Ads account to see if they're running ads too, if you're not like in their location locally. So I use those two strategies, which take like a minute, but like they come through clutch in the sales calls because they know right off the bat I did my homework on them. This isn't a regular sales call like they probably get from tons of other people, and it kind of separates me apart. So this one I was trying out a different kind of intro line at the time. Now it's the same thing. I use this one too. So if someone's running Google Ads already, I'll be like, hey, I see that you guys are already running Google Ads. So if you have 60 seconds, I'd like to ask, you know, why aren't you running any Facebook or Instagram ads? And that's my intro now. At this time, I didn't add the 60 seconds in there. So yeah, I'll play it back.
Hi there. This is Cheryl calling from Southwest Venture Center.
Hey Cheryl, how you doing?
Good. How are you?
Good. I'm Sarab. I'm the founder of SN Marketing, and the reason for the call today, Cheryl, is that I have a way of getting Southwest Venture more patients through the right marketing. I see that you guys already have your Google Ads running, which is great. So why aren't you guys running any Facebook or Instagram ads?
Oh, we're just working on it.
Okay, sounds good. Are you guys currently working with a marketing agency, or are you guys doing the Google Ads yourself?
You know what? We're also looking at that right now. So who is your marketing group?
Okay, so I'm the founder of SN Marketing, and we specialize in Facebook and Instagram ads. They're perhaps the best way to actually bring in new patients, other than Google. Google's great too. And when I was looking into Southwest Venture, I noticed you guys have a lot of opportunity for growth.
Okay, so that's the second part of my script right there, which I didn't have developed on the last two ones, but at this point I had the second part of the script developed after they answered that question of like why aren't they running any Facebook and Instagram ads. I say something along the lines of like they're perhaps the best way to actually bring new patients through your door, and like perhaps the best way I got that from obviously the Wolf of Wall Street, in that scene when he's pitching the fucking stock to that guy on the phone. So yeah, that's my line after they answer that question. From there, at that point I just freestyle it depending on what they say. This lady, she said like, oh, we're actually like looking at that right now. So this was a good example of good timing. They were at this time, they're actually, when I called them, they happened to be looking for someone to do Google Ads. and I happened to call her right at that time. So I'll play that part back.
We're also looking at that right now. So who is your marketing group?
She's asking to
Okay,
get
so I'm
pitched.
the founder of SN Marketing, and we specialize in Facebook and Instagram ads. They're perhaps the best way to actually bring in new patients. Other than Google. Google's great too. And when I was looking into Southwest Denture, I noticed you guys have a lot of opportunity for growth.
Yeah, for sure. So what can you send me then in terms of what your marketing looks like?
All right, so yeah, like I say, the opportunity line there, which like I've tried to write so many different scripts, and like that one just sounds the best. Like I just noticed you guys still have a lot of opportunity for growth, and whenever like a business owner hears that, like why would they not agree to at least like meeting the guy that brings that to their attention, that they have a lot of opportunity for growth. And yeah, that way I'm not trying to pitch them, because the goal of this call, should have said this in the beginning of the video, but the goal of this call is not to get these people to get invested in Facebook and Instagram ads right away. The goal, and to like pitch them on this initial call, the goal of this call is to get them to a meeting where I can pitch them on the services and on SN Marketing and my company and things like that. So yeah, by saying like the opportunity part, I'm not giving too much away of what exactly we would be doing for them, and just kind of saying something that kind of intrigues them, and to get them to hop on that meeting. So let's play it back a little bit.
In terms of what your marketing looks like.
Oh yeah, so also she asked me, she's like, okay, so what can you send me? And this is something, man, so many of them ask you to email them and like to send you some more information, or to send me an example of a dentistry you guys are working with, or send me an email, or send my marketing manager an email, or my receptionist, or who gives a fuck, right? They're always gonna say that. So never fucking, what I do is, at one point I was like, okay, yeah, no, sure, I'll send you an email. Oh yeah, no, I'll talk to your receptionist, yeah, for sure, yeah. At one point I did, and dude, that never worked, ever. Like whenever I sent them an email, like sometimes they'd open it, like half the time they wouldn't even open it, and like they barely replied to it after that. Like it's not a good route to go. If you have them on the phone one-on-one, that in itself is a rarity, and you don't want to lose that opportunity. So at this point, I was like, nah, I'm not gonna send you anything. Let's hop on an actual meeting. That's what the best solution for us would be. So
can you send me then in terms of what your marketing looks like?
We're already currently working with a denture clinic right now. We're a local company. I live close by, so I can actually come in and show you exactly how it could bring you more patients.
Yeah, sure. Let's do that. We could definitely take a little look. Let me just look at my schedule.
all right, so yeah, the rest of that is just her and I just talking about meeting times. But yeah, so that one, again, that was quite easy, to be honest. That wasn't difficult. She did say, what can you send me? But like when I offered the meeting, she didn't give any pushback on that, nor should she have. So that's quite easy. Again, you never want to email these people, man. Like please let me know in the comments or whatever if that strategy has worked once you get them on the phone and then email them after. I just don't see that happening. A phone call is a step up from an email. If you go from phone call to email, that's a step down, in my opinion. So yeah, never want to let them to get you on an email. You always want to say, hey, like honestly, a meeting would be best. That way I can actually just show you what we do for other dentistries or whatever your niche is, and what we can do for you guys, which is kind of what my typical line is, which I didn't really say in this one. I just said a kind of different variation of it. So yeah, those were all three of the recording examples. I do have a bunch of other freaking recordings of me actually doing the same thing. Saved on my phone. Like I have a bunch of like almost all the meetings that I've booked. So yeah, if you guys want me to do a part 2 of this and do some more cold call breakdowns, let me know. In the future, I'm gonna do more videos on like how exactly I get these people to actually call me back, and like how you want to talk to the gatekeeper, so you get the dentist to then call you back, or whatever kind of niche you're in, to get through the gatekeeper. I'll do those videos in the future. I'm like same with me actually showing you guys my script. Here you guys can actually just copy the scripts and like the objection handling and things like that, word for word. But yeah, hope you guys got some value from that video. Yeah, gonna be posting more content from now on. So yeah, I'll see you guys next time.